Do do do. Mm-hmm. Akshay, how you doing? How is everybody? All right. Let's get some seasonings on this water real quick.
Just seasonings on your water.
Hey?
Nothing. Seasoning your water.
Just seasoning the water just a little bit. Because I'm trying to make a nice, just a sweet marinade for the eggs. So when I poach them, it should be nice and seasoned.
Did it kick off already? Oh, it did.
Okay. Damn, should have picked up more soy sauce.
Oops.
Oh, that's for later problem. Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing today? Welcome to the live. Okay. Nice. All right. This will be a good, simple marinade. Nice and easy. Hey, CR, thank you so much, dude. I'm glad you can join us this afternoon. How are you today? Right on, right on. Welcome, everybody that's joining. Thank you so much. Okay, so today we are going to be working on two things. Today I'm going to be doing some nice at-home ramen. I'm going to do the hack version. I'm not going to do the legit version because we ain't got like a million years to do that. So tonight I'm going to just do a hack at-home version of some nice ramen noodles. I have this wicked, this brand of ramen noodles that I got that are fresh but like preserved frozen, which are really, really nice because you can then just buy a bunch, leave them in the freezer, and then just leave them out to defrost in your fridge, and they'll be perfectly good to go. So that you can just treat them exactly like you would pasta noodles, like spaghetti noodles. So you're going to give them a quick blanch. Yeah, it's good. You can give them a quick blanch and then have them just kind of sitting, waiting till you really need them before you serve them. So tonight I'm going to do a pretty much like a type of Japanese-inspired ramen, so that it's going to be most likely just ramen noodles, a little bit of light veg. I have some char siu pork that I made on the last live, maybe 2 lives ago, right? I'm going to use that guy, cut it thin, heat it up, and I'm going to show you guys how to make the at-home version broth. I'm going to add a little bit of marinated eggs, which I have the water boiling right now for, and my ethnicity, I'm Filipino-Canadian, sir. Hang, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you so much. Yeah, so I'm going to be working on some marinated eggs as well. Chef's, of course, making a delicious meal as always. Hey, I appreciate it, man. It's not, again, tonight, respectfully, it's not going to be a legitimate, ramen recipe, but it's going to be my kind of take on it. So we'll be doing that as well. For dessert, I'm going to be doing a really it's going to be like a chocolate spring roll, essentially, for dessert, right? I'm going to just take a spring roll wrapper. Hey, Mariana from Vancouver. Welcome in, man. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, so I'm going to be doing, Lynn, thanks so much. I appreciate you for being here. How was your day? I know it was pretty simple, I hope. Weather's amazing. So yeah, so I'm going to do a chocolate-based spring roll. It's going to have a little bit of like cut up cornbread, a little bit of brownie, and then I'm going to cover that in some chocolate, deep fry that thing, all right? And I'm going to get on that. Sonic Dragon Solos, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you guys for being here. Yeah. So in the pot rep in the back, I'm actually going to start a stock for the ramen. So essentially what ramen is, and I'm using powdered stock. So this does cost a little bit of money up front, but the amount of portions that you get from using it this method will get you going for months, depending on how often you guys. Mariana, thank you so much for the follow. Depending on how often you want to make ramen, because again, you can use any type of noodles, like as long as you can find the right ramen noodles, so dry, fresh, all that stuff. It's relatively cheap. I like buying like the ramen noodles, so you get it like, I got this one at 30% off at the superstore, just because if you're going to use it the same day, it's still good. Okay, so I have my water to a boil for my eggs. I'm just going to cook off 2 eggs today, nothing too crazy, but I'm going to leave it in the seasoning. So this is soy sauce and garlic hoisin. Usually you're going to be using a reduction of your stock to marinate your eggs. In this case, I just wanted a quick, a kind of a quick fire Vancouver Island. Hey, I was just talking about you guys, man. I love that place. How's the weather out there? Hope everything's nice. It's warm. Okay, so I got my water on the go right now, and I'll talk about the stock in 1 second. Okay, so the water and the egg. So I'm going to be doing what's known as a 6.5 minute egg. What that guarantees is, if it's done right, the egg will be kind of more or less like poached. So it's a really soft yellow yolk, very soft overall. But when you slice it, it should be nice. It'll ooze that yolk, but still be overall cooked. Okay. Coconut, hi. How are you? How's your afternoon doing? 12 degrees. Oh man, yeah, we hit it was like, what was today? 15? Yeah, it was fine. It was so warm here. Like we went from like minus 40, minus 45 a couple weeks ago to like plus 15. It's so warm here. We drove by. This is kids, no shirt on, just playing soccer. I was like, God, it's so nice. People are wearing shorts. Mama Bear, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate you guys for being here. And PL, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, so hey, anybody that's new, damn, that's warmer than Toronto. I live in Calgary, Alberta. Yeah, so also if anybody that's new in the live right now, I'm just making a little bit of home style. I'm going to start that. Boom. Just making some home style ramen noodles. It's not, again, a traditional ramen. It's just going to be my take on something that's really quick, super easy to achieve, and all that good stuff, okay? As well, if you guys can go ahead and do me a solid, hit those likes for me, and that helps me in the algorithm, gets me in front of more eyes just like yourselves. You're also a cook, right on, dude. What do you like cooking? Yeah, so it helps me get into the algorithm, gets me in front of eyes just like yourselves, people that want to talk about food culture, restaurant culture, recipes, all that good stuff. As well, Willis Wallace, thank you so much for the follow. As well, if you guys have any questions during the live about anything about recipes, you have questions about food, today I really would like to talk about Japanese food, like the candy, I love their things like junk food, as well as like Japanese food culture. Please just feel free to leave a question in the comments down below, and I'll try to make sure I answer it as we go, okay? Make craft dinner al dente, humble brand. Hey, you know what I'm saying? One of my favorite things with craft dinner is you just take like some of that and like take some chili. Boom, chili mac, right? Serve it with some garlic toast. It's gorgeous. Braden, thanks so much for the follow. Denise, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate you guys for being here. Okay, so I got my eggs going. I have approximately 5 minutes, 40 seconds on that. And in the back, I'm going to start just like a really simple ramen stock, okay? And what that means, because tonight I'm just planning on doing a regular broth stock, and then I'm going to add some really simple miso to it, okay? Antoinette, thanks so much for the follow. Yeah, thanks for being here, you guys. And HW5, thanks so much for the follow as well. Okay, so in the back, essentially the way ramen broths work is that they contain, the primary components are kombu, shiitake mushrooms, like dried shiitake mushrooms, because they have a much more concentrated flavor. Yeah, homemade mac and cheese is a little bit better than KD, but if you got KD, hey, we're eating, right? And Hana, thanks so much for the follow. Bella, thank you so much for the follow as well. And Yolo-san, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you guys for being here. Okay, so then, but it's all based on, you're going to use bonito flake, you're going to use kombu, you're going to use chicken stock as your primary base. Then you're going to add in like a little bit of the, what do you call it, your shiitake mushrooms, stuff like that. So in this case, I actually have a way to hack it. So what I always try to keep on hand is I have chicken stock base. I use this for cooking as well. Stir fries, fried rice, all that stuff as well. Yasmin, thank you so much for the follow. And Yolo-san. Okay, so Yasmin, I am... And Iden, thank you so much for the follow. Okay, so what we got tonight is we got ramen going, okay? I'm going to be doing a non-traditional type of ramen noodle, but it's going to be based kind of on the general recipe. So right now, as I have some stock in the back going, I'm going to be making up a kind of a faux ramen broth, as well as on the front stove I have some poached eggs going, which I'm then going to marinate in some garlic hoisin and soy sauce, okay? That's going to be served on top of on top of the noodles with a little bit of char siu that we made last week, and I just froze. So I pulled a little bit of that. We're gonna slice it really, really thinly. And yeah, for dessert, I'm gonna attempt to do an idea that I have, which is like it's gonna be chocolate spring rolls. So it's gonna be cornbread, brownies, and I'm gonna hit it with some extra chocolates that I have left over. I'm gonna give that a fry. I'm gonna see how that works out. I know, seems weird, but I think it might actually work. So, what was I saying? So the ramen broth consists, I went ahead and started with the chicken base, okay? Something really light. Then I have mushroom base. The thing about Chinese mushroom base is that this actually contains shiitake mushrooms as well as a couple other dried mushroom ingredients. And usually in a broth, you're gonna put about like 10 or 12 into about a pot a little bit bigger than this, okay? And then what also you have in there is kombu and bonito flakes. In this case, I actually keep a little bit of bonito stock, okay? So, yeah, this one's a new one, which is fantastic. So what I try to do is actually, if you take a look, it almost looks like yeast, right? So since it's bonito, you only need just a little bit because this will add that little dimension of fish stock flavor that you're kind of looking for in your stock. Nice. Okay. And then usually you're going to try to hit it with some kombu. In this case, I'm trying to use up a little bit of seaweed. Okay, so this will have the amplification flavor of... Say again? The soup bases, I actually found, if you're from Canada, I found this in the Asian aisle in Superstore. But if you are, I guess, if you're Canadian, you can also go to the TNT market or any of your local Asian markets as well. Lion Power, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you guys for being here. Right on, right on. Hey, Ashley, thank you so much for the roses. Right on, HW5. Thank you for the share. I appreciate you guys for sharing my live as well. Yo, hey. Explicit. Kobe steak is fire. It's so good. Yeah, and rice pilaf, amazing. Does it taste like dirt in the best way? Yeah, it doesn't taste like dirt. It tastes like mushrooms, very concentrated flavored mushrooms. And also, Caitlin, thank you so much for joining us again. It's really great to see you back on here. Be sure to check your messages. I sent some messages out.
You mean seaweed full from explicit.
From explicit, what's he saying? Yes, you can. It depends on the seaweed. You have to get the roasted seaweed, which is this kind of stuff. So it's already roasted, has a little bit of seasoning. Plus, it's also very concentrated and dry, which is a beautiful thing because that's kind of what you're looking for. Francis Waikari, thank you so much for the follow. And Stefan, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it. And Antoinette, thanks for sharing the live. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, you can eat the seaweed whole for sure. Love steak, so yummy, medium rare. Yeah, we're from Calgary, Alberta, as most people know. To be honest with you, me and my wife, we're actually huge fans of blue rare, hard seared blue rare, right? So you got a great crust on the outside, really well seasoned, but it's still so raw on the inside. I love that stuff. All right, so I got my, that's off. Okay, so I got my eggs finishing right now. Boom. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just cool this down in a sieve. Okay, and then I can go ahead and replenish this, and I'm going to cook my noodles off and get those draining as well. Okay, and for anybody that's new here, thank you so much for joining us. So I know there's a question of what we're cooking. Tonight we are cooking I guess a Tokyo style ramen. It's like that, but it's not really a traditional ramen. So instead, I'm showing the at-home hack version of how to kind of achieve the overall ramen flavor. So right now in the back here, I have chicken stock, mushrooms, powdered stock, as well as bonito flake stock with a few leaves of seaweed. All right, super cheap, but the best part is I know it is expensive off the top, but the amount of portions that you get from it really pays for itself over time. Okay, and as well. I just pulled off a little bit of I boiled off a couple eggs, which I'm then going to marinate in some garlic hoisin sauce and a little bit of soy sauce. So it's a good amount of sodium and all that stuff. And right now, yeah, so you get like a bonito flake smell, and as well as the mushroom scent coming from the stock, as well as that seaweed's really coming through. So I'm just gonna let that simmer. It's gonna start breaking apart while it's in there, okay? And then to this, I'm gonna add in some instant miso, instant white miso for soups. Hey man, I'm always down to meet some new friends, dude. You know it. Millie, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you guys for being here. Thanks so much for all the likes as well, guys. I really appreciate you guys got it. You guys are all over that. What's different about my face? I was eating my mustache the other day, just trying to eat some food, and I got so sick of it, dude. So sick of it. So I had to shave. As well as I'm going to be shooting I'm doing sound for like a couple short films coming up, and I got to look professional. I can't just be all out here just looking like, you know what I mean? Like I just sleep outside. Also, Gemini, hi, welcome. I appreciate you for being here as well. Dawn and Bella, what pastry are you talking about here? Steffi, thank you so much for the follow as well. Yeah. Okay, so to this, I'm going to go ahead and just right away add some miso to it. Okay, and the instant miso that I use is this. The best part about this is that literally you can buy this bottle for $2. And out of this bottle, you can get about 15 to 20 portions of soup, right? Which is amazing. Okay, so Gemini, it's no problem that you're late. I appreciate you for really being here. So right now I'm going to be doing a ramen-inspired noodle soup, which is basically to say I'm doing a hacked version of ramen. So in the back here, I have chicken stock. So I use powdered chicken stocks to get all that flavor right away. So in the back, I have powdered chicken stock, powdered mushroom stock, and powdered bonito flake stock with a few sheets of crispy and roasted seaweed. So that roasted flavor is really concentrated into the seaweed itself. So when you put it in, it really extracts really quickly. Zacho, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you guys for being here. Japan, I know that. Yes. And you know this one because this right here is great for like really cold days. Pour this into a thing of hot water. Sip on it like it's a tea. It's amazing. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm actually just going to add it into my stock and like do about 2 squirts because then the miso and all those extra flavorings will come together really, really well. Okay. And in my sink right now, I just have the boiled eggs just cooling down. So I'm going to give those a quick peel and then I'm going to throw them into my marinated stock. Usually, again, this is... Hey, Zacho, thanks so much, man. I appreciate that. I hope you guys all enjoy this because I enjoyed it as well. Do I know how to make fry bread? Are you talking like fry bread? Say again?
Greek bread. I asked you for
Oh, Greek bread. To be honest with you, I haven't actually made Greek bread since I worked at a Greek restaurant. Lucky, I am from Calgary, Alberta, sir. Nikki, thank you so much for the roses. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. Right on, dude. Okay, so yeah, see now I'm starting to get a really good color overall from that miso. So again, this is like a white miso base, really, really simple. And then for our misos, we'll finish it with a little bit of like chili oil or chili crisp at the end to kind of give it a little bit more flavor. But I'm gonna just let that simmer out on low so that can sit there and stay warm, okay? Okay, at the front here, I got the water boiling. I'm just gonna wait for that guy to start simmering. And in the meantime, I'm gonna do up maybe about 3 or 4 of these spring rolls. So okay, so you're talking about bannock, the fry bread. You're talking about bannock. I actually have never made that. How long do you marinate your eggs? To be honest with you, you can marinate it overnight. Which I mean, it'll take on. Granted, that's why I try to keep the marinade very light. Because if you leave it overnight or like 24 hours, 12 hours, it's going to take on a good amount of color, but it's going to be like, it's going to just taste like a lot of sodium and a lot of that hoisin flavor, which is really good if that's what you're looking for. But I do recommend, I'm just going to leave it in there pretty much for like the next 40 minutes, and then I'm just going to leave it in the fridge till it cools down. It's just enough to just season the whites on the outside, and that's what's going to give me a really great overall flavor. Because again, this is supposed to be like a quick fire ramen, something you can do really quickly at home for everybody, and kind of just get on with your day, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I really wanted to show off this recipe. And blues for life. My favorite food, to be perfectly honest, is anything deep fried. Like I'm such a fiend for like fried chicken. You know what I mean? Just things that are like just chicken tenders, wings. I love like anything fried, French fries. Especially one of my favorite type of fries are those like crosshatch potato joints. You know what I'm saying? That with some ranch dressing is just crazy. Hey man, I appreciate that you appreciate the vibes. Say again?
Lucky 888 wants you to come visit.
Hey. Oh man, Lucky, where are you from, dude?
I think it's one from Japan.
Oh, nice. Oh, I would love to go to Japan. Oh my lord. Fried bologna. Let me tell you about fried bologna, okay? That's one of those, like, actually my I lived with this homeboy. He put me on fried bologna. I was like always like, it's super, like, I don't like the slices of bologna, but one day that homeboy comes home with like a log, like of like bologna, and we had bologna steaks, mashed potatoes, spicy mustard, and like onion rings. It was like the gnarliest meal I've ever had, and it was like one of those cheap, like you can fry it up. Then I actually one day took the bologna that he was like, well, I don't want to just fry it in a pan and then hit it with some stuff. I took it and I just dredged it, right? Dredged it in like a potato flour and beer, kind of like beer batter, right? Boom. Same with Spam. I've done that with Spam. Took the same dredge, deep fried it, got it crisp, and then you had it with a side of fries. Woof. And then, yeah, you have it with like some sort of like honey mustard gravy. It was so gnarly, dude. Yo, Japan is hella clean. Just like here. Canada's also like one of the cleanest cities, one of the cleanest countries on the planet. But yeah, not like Japan or Taiwan, I believe, also has extremely clean streets. Ms. B, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate it. You know what, Explicit, I might just do? And Aisha, thank you so much for the follow. Thanks so much, guys, for joining. I really appreciate it. This is such a nice, good vibe on all the people here, dude. Okay, and Lucky, the ramen I'm making is kind of like a white miso based idea, right? Again, this is just like the hack version of ramen that I make. You can obviously go all the way and do it from fresh, but I really wanted to showcase. Haley, thank you so much for the follow. I really wanted to showcase how easy it is to just do a 1 hour ramen really, really quickly. And then also I'm going to be serving it with some char siu that I made up. I had a little bit frozen, so I pulled that out. I'm going to be serving it with, again, a little bit of seaweed on the top, probably a little bit of green onions, a little bit of cabbage, just to kind of give you that extra crunch. And yeah, I'm going to hit it with some chili spice, get that thing going, you know what I'm saying? I can't pronounce that. What is that? And Gibberish God, thanks so much for the follow. And Ugura Tikal, I can't pronounce that. Bishop, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate you guys for being here. Cheryl, thanks so much for the follow as well. Man, and Haley Ree, right on, dude. Oh, the cherry tarts. Yeah. Okay, so the pastry is it's just basically just puff pastry. You can go to your grocery store. It'll be in the freezer aisle next to like all the pie pastries. The what do you call it? The what's the dough that like baklava's made out of? It'll be where like all the pie tarts and stuff will be. All right. Grab but I again recommend, if you can find it, find the puff pastry that's folded into quarters, so the actual box will be a much wider thing rather than like the other ones you'll see. It's like they're 1/8 folded. That means the only reason I like that is because if it's quarter folded, letting it defrost will be much easier to unfold, and you'll have less likely to have breaks once you let it phyllo dough. Yeah, you'll have less likelihood of it breaking if you didn't give it enough time to rest at room temperature, okay? Because again, when it's 1/8 folded, the core on that takes a little bit longer to come to temperature. Okay, nice. So I got these starting to just cook. Since they are fresh, I'm just right now trying to bring it up to temperature and break apart the bunching, okay? Nice. Boom.
The Batman is in.
The Batman. Oh, yeah. How you doing, brother? Professor Snape. Hey, thanks so much for the follow. Appreciate you. Right on, right on. Okay, so I got the noodles starting to loosen up, and now I'm just going to give my eggs a quick peel. Yeah, right on. So these will do its thing. I got 2, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm going to probably, right now, just for the live, I'm going to do about like, let's say 5 rolled up spring rolls. I'm going to put, again, it's going to be cornbread, like this leftover brownie that I got, and I'm going to hit it with some like random chocolates. And I'm just going to just deep fry that thing, see what happens. The Batman. Hey, I appreciate you for being here anyways, brother. Late or not, it's great to see you. Aiden, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you guys for being here, man. Right on. All right, so now my noodles, I'm just going to pull off the heat. They should be pretty much loose as they are. Right on. I could have picked the world's smallest pot, but Christ. Amateur hour over here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just drain these guys out and give them a quick rinse. Yeah.
Lynn, Bonnie, Finley, first time here.
Hey, welcome. Lynn, Bonnie, good to see you. How is your day? Yeah, thank you for joining the live. Okay, as well, there's still quite a few people in here, so just for anybody that's new or just entering the live right now, just a reminder, what I'm making tonight is some nice, gorgeous, really quick fire homemade ramen. So it's like a Tokyo-inspired type of ramen. It's not authentic in any way, shape, or form. But tonight, I really wanted to showcase a way to hack the like an at-home ramen recipe. Okay, I wanted something that was quick, easy, pretty much accessible, and anyone can get after it. Okay, but in my case, I'm just trying to add on just the little additions. So what I had pulled was just the what do you call it? I just pulled the noodles. And I'm going to let those cool down. I gave them a quick rinse to get a lot of that starch off of them, so it's not too crazy, okay? And then now I'm going to be just working really quickly on the eggs. Okay. Right, so I'm just going to give them a quick crack. When you do this, you have 2 options. You can completely crack them and do the peel. Other people, no work Thursday night? No, sir. Lindsay Shepherd, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. And Lori, thanks so much for the follow. Vendetta tattoo, yes, sir. Me and my wife got it for our 5th anniversary. Lynn Bonnie, thank you so much for the follow as well. Okay, so you have 2 choices. You can actually just break up the egg itself really finely, like this. Right, as you can see, it's damn. That's pretty bright. It's just broken up to a point where now, if you were to leave it in the marinade overnight, you get this really cool dinosaur egg kind of speckling that goes along with it. In this case, I'm actually going to go ahead, since I want to do a quick fire marinade. What I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to go ahead and just peel it completely, because then I can get the most coverage right away.
Okay.
Oh yeah, okay. Right on. Yeah, so after about 6.5 minutes, 7 minutes, you're gonna notice that even when it's cold or cooled down. Okay, so then it's a nice, clean, spongy egg, right? The yolk on the inside should be more or less good to go. So I'm gonna take this egg, right? And I'm going to go ahead and throw it into the marinade. Do the same with this egg. Right? Again, when you're smashing it on the table, you don't have to hit it super hard or anything. You're just kind of just trying to get it broken. had an egg that is still has a chicken in it, like balut. Yes, I have. Again, it's not my favorite thing in the world, but it is really flavorful. One of the coolest parts about balut, in my opinion, is when you crack it, there's a certain portion, which is this part, which is like, you'll notice there's always a circular part where it separates the whites from the shell itself. And it's really nice because then when you crack it, you can drink. It's what's known as like the soup. Amy, thanks so much for the live follow. I appreciate it. Yeah, so you get the soup, and then you peel it back. You can eat everything except for like the super hard white that's in there, and it's just amazing. Okay, so I'm just going to give that a quick rinse just to make sure all of it is submerged. Now, check it out. So I have the eggs sitting in here, okay? And over the next little bit, it won't take on a crazy amount of color, but it will take on flavor, which is amazing. Glam Queen, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you guys for being here. So the coolest part about it is if you do choose to cook like even more, like you do 6, you do 8, it will fill up this 1 liter. Sammy, thanks so much for the follow, brother. Yeah, it will fill it up. Now, if your eggs exceed the water, like they're starting to float above, one of the things I do highly recommend, and this is a chef's trick, is that do not cover it with plastic. What you're going to do is you're actually going to take a paper towel and then put that on top. What that does is that it guarantees that the paper towel will absorb the liquid above the egg, and then it will give you complete saturation of, of the egg on top. So you're going to get a complete coverage rather than if you had plastic wrap. That plastic will actually prevent any of the liquid to go above the egg, and you'll have this like weird, awkward like circle of white, right? So it won't be completely saturated in the actual stock. Okay. Right on, dudes. Yeah. Hey, anybody that's new to the live, there's still a ton of people in here. I appreciate you all for being here. If you guys can, keep hitting that like button for me as much as you can. Again, that helps me in the algorithm. Christina, I'm doing very well. How are you? It would help me in the algorithm, get me in front of eyes just like yourselves, people who want to talk about food culture, recipes, chef culture, restaurant culture, anything like that. As well, Chef Nate, good to see you, bro. Welcome. I'm doing really well, man. How are you? And Christina, yeah, doing very well. User 11044, thank you so much for the follow as well. Blunt Truth, welcome, dude. I appreciate the follow as well. Thank you so much for joining. Okay, so yes, it is. I think it got like 13 or 15 degrees today, Celsius. Amazing, dude. People would be outside with shorts on, you know what I'm saying? You can practically smell the grills going all day. Yeah, amazing, dude. Okay, so, so I have that going. I'm right now just going to go ahead and I'm going to wrap up my theoretical, do my theoretical spring rolls for dessert. And again, I don't actually know if this is going to taste good or anything like that. I'm just actually going to try it just because it sounds crazy, right? And what's the point of cooking if we don't try stuff, right? All right, so for this, in this case, I got this leftover like 7-Eleven brownie that they gave me for free today. So I'm going to go ahead and just hit this in there. I'm going to cut roughly, what did I do? 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm just going to do 5. Okay, so I'm going to cut this bad boy into like 5s, as well as I got this cornbread that I made up on the last live stream. I'm going to just go ahead and slice that thin, get that in there, and then I'm going to finish it all literally with just some chocolate bars, like just some, what do you call it? I am streaming live on TikTok right now, yes. Yeah, and again, explicit. This is why I'm on here, bro. To be perfectly honest, this is this kind of food is super accessible, relatively cheap. Because again, I also promote things like bulk buying and purchasing because you're being able to get more portions for the price value. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to cut this into 5. So right there, take the center out. So that's my 5th. There's 3 and the other 4 and 5. Boom. Okay. So the cornbread, Just gonna, do I have broken ones? Hey, there we go. So the cornbread, I'm actually just gonna go ahead and just tear pieces off. And then I'm gonna hit it with some, I don't know what kind of chocolate. I think I still have like Lindt chocolates lying around. So I think I might play with that a little bit. I do. Oh, right here, right on. Yeah, so in this case, I have these left over. These Lindt chocolates, which is crazy to me. So let's go ahead with these. Yeah. These are those filled joints with like with the centers. So what I'm thinking, since it is hot out, these things are like hella starting to get melty. Oh yeah, this has like the white center. Okay. All right. Let's do a couple of those. Crush these bad boys down. Boom, just like that. Okay. Then I'm going to hit it with a hit of the Brownie. Give that a quick smush. Okay. Now throw that into the trash jar. Right on. Okay, what else we got? We got any questions? Just a real quick reminder as well. If you guys have any questions about recipes, you have any questions about any type of food culture. Nutella, sure. Food culture, anything like that, by all means, leave a question in the comment section below. I'll be more than happy to try to answer them. As well as that helps us get some wicked conversations going in the chat. Jennifer Trainer, thank you so much for joining the live and follow. Thank you so much for that. Okay. Right on. Christina Primo, thank you so much for the like. Okay, so for this, so I have my noodles going. I got that going. I'm going to just wrap these guys off. And I'm going to get a little bit of oil on the go for the spring rolls. And then we will get on to doing a little bit of that ramen. You want to go on a ramen day out? Hey, what part of the city do you live in? I'll take you to my buddy's spot. It's amazing. Monica Williams, thanks so much for the follow. And Sharon Shorty, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate you guys for being here. You be tapping for a bit? Hey, right on. You're downtown. Okay. Yeah, if you want to come up and meet me, I'd be happy to take you a really good spot that not a lot of Calgarians really know about right now. And to be honest with you, they have some of the best noodles in the city, guaranteed. Okay, so I got brownies, boom. I'm going to just hit it with some of this cornbread because I know that's going to take on a lot of the excess bulk of that chocolate. And I kind of feel it needs a little something. Do I have anything I can just supplement on top? Doesn't look like it. All right. This will work. And look what we got here. I'm going to take a small heated spoon. Yep. And then on top to finish, I'm going to roll it. I'm going to roll this guy with some chocolate ganache. So gnarly. Salt and pepper to taste. Yep. Nan's on Edmonton Trail. Shannon knows what's up. All right, so yeah, I'm going to give this just a quick smush. That chocolate ganache will give it some extra body so that it sticks. Boom. Just like that. Okay. Dip my fingers in, moisten the edge so it sticks. Bang. And that right here is a dessert spring roll. Right? So it's just, again, it's chocolate, it's brownie, it's chocolate ganache, and a little bit of cornbread. So I'm going to make up a couple of those. Okay. Let's do 2 white Lindts. Why not? Bam. Yeah, and it's like warm out, so these chocolates are hella soft. And again, this dessert is like purely theoretical, and I was thinking about trying to make this, trying to make it as dank as possible. And again, we try to do a really accessible, really weird food on this place in here, just because, why not, right? Lucy Pho, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it, you guys. And if you guys can, all the people in here, make sure you guys stay up on those likes. It really helps me in the algorithm. I appreciate it. Christina, yeah. Yeah, me too. I love a good spring roll that's not just like a traditional joint. It's crispy, it has sweetness, right? And not too often you get like a dessert spring roll, right? I really like that kind of stuff. Oh man, thanks for sharing the live, you guys. I really appreciate that as well. Right on, dudes. Okay, so I got that. I'm gonna hit it with just a touch of that cornbread. All right, just so when it does fry, it definitely absorbs a lot of that chocolate. And then I'm gonna hit it with a bit of that chocolate ganache. Wham! All right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, why not? Here we go.
You
Okay.
have a question about what the difference between a spring roll and an egg roll wrap is?
An egg roll wrap is actually a little bit doughier as well. I do believe an egg roll wrap, they do finish it in like a type of dredge, or at least the restaurants that I've worked at, they hit it with like kind of like a, I really want to say it's like a beer batter, but it's not. It's like a, more like a, similar to like crisping. Yeah, it's more like a beer batter, thin cornstarch slurry that they fry so that it guarantees like this crazy crisp and steam on the inside. And explicit, I'm actually outside of downtown. I'm in Beddington. But yo, hit me in the DMs and we'll set up sometime and then try to get some food going, all right? Don Winter, hi, how are you, brother? And Corey, thank you so much for the follow, dude. I appreciate you guys for being here. And also, thank you so much for the likes, guys. Keep that up. Thank you so much. Okay, so I got the spring roll wraps finishing up right here. Boom. Again, when you're working with spring roll wraps, it's always good to use just a little bit of water. I know some other people, excuse me, I know some other people that use cornstarch slurry, and they'll use that as a seal as well, which I actually don't mind. It's when you use a seal like that, it guarantees like when you fry it, it's a crazy crisp. It's really good. Okay, so let's go with the one red lint. Why not? Throw that guy down, give that a smush. Whap. And then I'm gonna do another white one because why not? Yeah, all this chocolate should mix down and melt in a way that's going to be like hella decadent. Just so gnarly.
What noodles are you using?
Okay, so for the noodles that I'm using for my ramen today is go to Superstore and I buy a, what's the brand? I don't know. It's a Chinese brand of what do you call it? Almost fresh / frozen ramen noodles. Amazing, because all you have to do is give them a quick blanch, and then before you're going to serve it, you're going to just blanch it again in the stock, bring it out, add your stock to it, and zhuzh up the plate a little bit, okay? Yo, I take the train everywhere as well, brother. Yeah, dude. Right on. Yeah. And then just what do you call this? Deep fried snacks are my jam. 100%. You know what I'm saying? That's it's 100% what I love and what I do. Okay, so then I'm gonna hit that again with another brownie. Just a sprinkling of the cornbread. Boom. Yeah. Okay, a little bit of that gnarly ass ganache. Because again, the ganache itself was made with roughly about like a 70 or a 76% chocolate. So it's not entirely the sweetest thing on the planet. It's semi-sweet, but still has a good amount of that sugar content, which is going to give us that sweetness that's going to help balance out the brownie, which is going to be more sweet savory. And that cornbread is just there as like an ingredient to like absorb flavor. Pretty much. Now you have some ramen at home. Pretty easy. Yep. Absolutely. And thanks again for the likes, guys. I appreciate y'all for doing that. And anybody that's new in the live right now, what is ganache? Never really heard of it before? Okay, cool. So what ganache is essentially like it's basically like a chocolate sauce. Like if you're thinking about chocolate ganache, what it is, it's a really nice but really overall thick chocolate sauce that can be heated and then it'll be super runny. The way to make it is to go, say, 1 cup of any type of chocolate, like so chocolate chips, Lindt chocolate, and chocolate nubs, stuff like that. As long as they're relatively small size, to that 1 cup of chocolate, you're going to add in approximately maybe a half to a 3/4 cup of cream or milk, right? Heat it up till it's steaming, not boiling. You don't want to scald your cream or your milk, right? Because once you get that burnt flavor, you can't take it out. Then take it, put it into your chocolate. Let it sit there for 4 or 5 minutes until it warms up the chocolate. Give it a stir until it goes super velvety, and that's basically ganache.
Explicit asked, is there any source of iron in your spring rolls? And I said, not really.
Source of iron, nah. Melissa Dempster, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, I mean, we could put some sort of like, I don't know. I could put like a meat, like a bacon. I think that'd be crazy, like a maple bacon inside one of these things. Be fire. But in this case, I just wanted it to be like ultra chocolatey, ultra decadent, and something that I haven't tried before. So this will be an interesting concept, at least, right? Something to try out. That's something I've never done, right? And again, that's what we do on this channel. That's something that I love doing as well, because what's the point of cooking food and loving food if you're not willing to experiment, right? Everything's an experiment. Even if it's a failure, you're still winning. We eat our mistakes. Yeah, you're right, Shannon. I had one that was a banana, cream cheese, and caramel. Oh, yeah, dude, like a banana Foster's with like a creamy center. Amazing. And you're Wilden. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you guys for being here, guys. Right on. You guys are just killing it with the likes too, man. I really appreciate that. Okay, so I'm on my last couple of spring rolls. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start digging into setting up my char siu. And then I'm going to do up a couple bowls of the actual stock, or the actual ramen, okay? And these are actually doing pretty good in the marinade. So by roughly in the next 15 or so minutes, I'll be ready to go ahead and start doing up a couple portions of the ramen. So I'm going to do it one in a big bowl and then one in a more like smaller petite bowl, which I think would be really, really cool. Because I got this type of serving bowl that I thought suited me in every way, shape, and form. Right on, dude. How's everybody doing out there as well? Are you a cooker? I am a chef. Yes, I've been a chef or a cook for the last 25 years. Will I be mixing all ingredients together? Per se, what I like to do is I like to build the plate. So what that's going to be is a base of the stock, base of the noodles. And then I'm just going to plate the small, the small accoutrements and other stuff like ingredients together on top to make it much more presentable. Because again, what I really love to do, especially on these lives, is make sure that normal people get to see from a chef's level how to make sure that you're on the sea before. Hey, right on. What I try to make sure that I do is try to present all my food so you guys see what it takes to do plating as well. Because that's also super important, right? When you serve food to any of your friends, any of your family, it's ultra important that they eat with their eyes as well as their mouths, right? Because the better it looks on the plate, the more appealing it is. Automatically, they've decided in their mind that they're going to enjoy that meal, right? As well as it shows love. It shows that you care about them when you serve it to them, okay?
Making deep fried spring rolls.
Right on. Yukon home cook, focusing on traditional foods. Leftover moose. Oh, moose roast in the fridge, dude. Yo, hey, I don't know if you guys have ginger beef out there. If you have any raw moose roast, I highly recommend slice it thin into like nice thin strips, velveting it. It's a Chinese method of like tenderizing your meat, and then try to do like a ginger beef with moose. You know what I'm saying? Like with that garlic, sweet and sour sauce on it. That would be crazy. I haven't had moose in so long, but I think it would be amazing. Try beluga and seal. I wish. Unfortunately here, like since we're in Alberta, getting beluga or like any like seal or fat, like any like the seal fat or anything like that is super hard to get here.
Yeah, we're more beef and...
Yeah, because I remember Alberta's known for its beef, its lamb, bison, stuff like that. My family just went out this morning caribou hunting. Ooh,
Oh, so cool.
That's so cool. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I haven't had caribou in a long time either. I had a buddy years ago. His dad used to own a restaurant here in the city, an Italian joint, and he was all about bigger game hunting, like moose and caribou were definitely on that list, which I appreciate again because he was the guy that always hooked me up with like backstrap and what do you call it, ingredients like that. Really, what do you call it, like tender, gorgeous, really rich, flavored type of game. You know what I mean? It was just amazing. Having moose roast now, damn. Yeah, dude. Come from the res. Hey, y'all have some damn good food out there, man. I'll be real. Right? Indigenous homies know how to fucking cook too, man. Because it's funny because when I was a dishwasher when I was 13 and 14, I worked at the Stampede Casino, like the original one. At the thing, one of my very first chefs was an indigenous dude. He taught me so much. Great skills, amazing flavor and taste profile. Taught me how to work in a kitchen, you know what I'm saying? But you can't take the res out. Hey, that's a fact. That homie, he knows exactly what was going on.
Sharon Shorty's stage name would be Ginger Moose, which means you should share your
Your stage name would be Ginger Moose? Oh, that's hilarious. I believe I was given the stage name Sweet Teriyaki. Okay, now I'm going to get my last spring roll kind of done. Again, the reason I'm letting these spring rolls sit out is that I actually do a resting process or a resting period on the spring rolls themselves, just so it has a chance for those seals to become dry, and then the two layers become amalgamated. Ribs are so fire, dude. Oh, so good.
Can you describe how you were wrapping your spring roll?
Okay, so sure, Caitlin, I will absolutely. So on my last one, I'll show you actually how it's done. So the way I do it is that I have a corner towards me, right, towards my body, corner facing out, right, like so it's basically sitting like a diamond. So then I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to fill it with a base of the whatever ingredient that you're working with. In this case, I'm going to be working with the chocolate brownie and cornbread with a hit of that ganache. Okay, what's important is that no worries. I'm glad that you asked, though. I really appreciate it. So I don't know if I was explaining it entirely. I was just kind of getting in the moment. Okay, so on the base, I have my line of regular chocolate, followed by the brownie. And I'm making sure just to push it in just a little bit, just to kind of make sure that it sits properly on the wrapper itself. Okay. Samantha, hey, yeah, it should be not bad. Again, this is all theoretical, so if it messes up, I'm sure it's still going to taste good, regardless, right? So it's there. I'm going to put a small hit of that corn bread that I made the other day. Boom, right? And what's important is that you kind of have all the like the more wet or more moist ingredient towards you and all the drier ingredient behind it, okay? So what you're doing is you're creating a stack. All right, and then to finish it, I'm going to hit it with a little bit of that chocolate ganache, right? Just on the back end, so the part closest to my body, or the closest to my body in the corner, bam, just like that, okay? And then the reason that I have the liquid here at the bottom is that so when I fold it over, I fold the back corner almost to the front corner, right? As you can see, almost to the front. And then the part that has the liquid part, you're now going to scrape that and slide that back against the ingredients that are there. So now you see that it's completely trapped and sealed, okay? So just like a burrito as well, you're gonna go ahead and fold this part on the inside in, and then you're gonna fold that over. Again, you're gonna fold that part here in, right? Creating a seal, fold that part over. So now you have the two parts connected, right? You're gonna then, the front part, right? You're gonna, with your fingers, give that a push in so everything's nice and tucked in, and then just roll it, bam, just like that, okay? And then before you get to the end of the roll, on the final corner, you're just gonna give it a good hit of water to help seal, right? And then you're left with that. Okay, it does take a little bit of practice because you don't want to overdo it, and it takes a little while to understand how much pressure as well to put on the thing without breaking the actual wrap. But I do recommend if you're going to use the wrap or anything like that, use the wrap, use it after it's room temperature, okay? Allow it, if it's frozen, allow it to fully have time to come to temperature so there's no breakage. As well, a reminder when you're working with wraps as well, be sure to actually separate the wraps, right? The real important part is to not let separate it ahead of time and then hold the wraps in the bag that it came in, right? You can have them folded, all that stuff, but these do dry out really, really quickly. So being prepared and doing all your mise en place right away in terms of the preparation makes it for a much easier, more streamlined experience, okay? So now that I got that going, nice. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. And Shannon asked me to define mise en place. What that basically means, I'm not French, so I might get this wrong. It means put in its place, or everything in its place. What that means is that you're going to be doing a lot of your pre-prep, your cutting, the sauces that you need to make the actual dishes, all that stuff. You're going to do it all ahead of time so that when it comes down to doing the service, like the actual cooking of the stuff, all you can do is then just take your ingredients, focus on cooking the right kind of plate, making it really, really good, really, really flavorful. And you're not worrying about doing all the small component stuff, slicing and all that extra stuff on the side, okay? Right on. Yes, we are on the home stretch. Again, today's just going to be a slightly shorter live just because my partner has class at 6:30. So I'm trying to make sure that I get you guys to see all the ingredients. We can talk about and answer any of the questions that you might have as well. Yes, pre-prep is a lot, is everything, especially when you have kids and all that stuff. It's really easy to have it in your fridge, ready to go. And then when you want to get home, all you have to do is cook. You don't have to worry about like cutting, nothing like that. You know what I mean? And Samantha, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you guys. Yes, put in its place. Okay. Again, like I've had so many, even other French dudes say that I was wrong. I thought it was or like put in its place, which that's what place is, place. But I appreciate you for making sure to correct it if it was wrong. Mattia, thank you so much for the follow as well. Thank you so much. Glad you guys are all here, man. All right. Okay. So we are on the final stretch. I'm going to get a small pot of oil going really quickly. Just going to give this a quick rinse. Boom. Okay, so usually at like a regular Japanese spot, what they're going to do is they blanch your raw noodles first, then pull it, let it rest, and then what they're going to do is they're going to give it a secondary blanch. The the trick to doing it at home is this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get that oil going really quickly here. Okay. Thank you, honey. Okay, I'm going to get that going right there. Then I'm going to turn that to roughly about a 5, just so I can get a really quick sear without letting these cook too much further, because the second the chocolate starts leaking out of the wrappers, it's just going to be a crazy, like, destructive mess. Bunny Day, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it, you guys. Right on, Christina. I appreciate you. Right on. It must be nice to be, like, bilingual, because, man, I sucked at French. Holly is Jolly, thank you so much for the follow as well. Thank you guys all for all being here. And anybody that is new to the live, thank you so much for joining us. Again, I'm on the final stretch. I've tonight created a very easy at-home ramen recipe that is just, it's quick, it's simple. It's really great on like, really cold days, really mild days, rainy days, all that good stuff. And in the back right now, I have some really basic ramen stock. What it's made out of, I use, again, powdered stocks. So they are a little bit on the saltier side, but at the same time, they're just super easy to make in mass. So instead, in the stock, I have a small sprinkling of chicken powder, like chicken stock powder. I have the mushroom stock powder. Again, it's the Chinese mushroom stock, which in its own right has shiitake mushrooms, has your cremini mushrooms, all kind of dried down, and has those preservatives. As well, instead of buying bonito, I instead have a bonito flake soup base. Okay, so I added a small sprinkle of that. Like, again, a little bit goes a long way for that. Added some water, and I finished it with a little bit of roasted seaweed. Usually you're going to use kombu, but in this case, I thought it would be easier and more flavorful to just do just that roasted seaweed that you kind of generally use with everything else. Bonito soup base. It's bonito flake that's turned into soup base.
What's bonito
Bonito flake is basically, it's like dried fish, like fish flakes, right? You can eat it raw, dry. You can put it on. They use it a lot in Japanese cuisine, like those takoyaki octopus balls. Boom, they'll finish that off with a bit of mayonnaise, bonito flakes. So it's just really there as a really mild fish flavor, which is really great. So that added that little bit of dimension to the stock. And then I also boiled up earlier some eggs that I'm now marinating in just a little bit of water, a little bit of garlic hoisin sauce, and a little splash of soy sauce. Okay, and then as well for dessert, I went ahead and did something really weird and crazy, which is to say I put Lindt chocolates, brownie, cornbread, and chocolate ganache into a spring roll wrap. Okay, I'm gonna fry these bad boys up. Yeah, QP mayo is so bomb. Yeah, I'm gonna fry these bad boys up, and it should kind of be more like a chocolate cake on the inside of a spring roll, theoretically. Okay, so I have the oil going for that in the back. Boom. Okay, so now the real hack to doing a really good at-home ramen is all right. So you're gonna have your bowl ready, all that good stuff. But the way that it works at the restaurant is that ideally you want your noodles warm and you want the bowl to be warm as well, because as long as your bowl is warm, it'll make sure that everything going in will be guaranteed warm as it hits the table, okay? So the easiest way to achieve that is that since we live in Canada, all our tap water is like drinkable. It's like, what do you call it? Bottle grade water. It's been filtered in such a way that it's all right to drink straight from the tap. So since our hot water heater here is insane, and it's like basically on the verge of boiling every time it comes out hot, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to fill my bowl with hot water. Boom, just like that, right? I don't know if you can see it, but it's actually steaming. So then what you're going to do is you're going to take your already pre-blanched ramen noodles, right? You're going to take your pre-blanched and then just let it sit in the hot water coming to temperature, okay? And that will help loosen up your Iron Maiden. Hey, good to see you, brother. Welcome. Tonight I am making a at-home version of miso ramen. Oh, that's also what I put in here was miso, instant miso stock, the white miso, to give it some extra body and flavor.
A lot of resins don't have clean water, but someone's asking if you ever had deep-fried turkey neck.
I have. I love deep-fried turkey neck. One of my favorite things to do is actually take the deep-fried turkey neck and then braise it after, right? So then it becomes really, really soft. So then when you give it a scrape and pull all the excess skin and meat off of it, just put that thing into a sandwich. It's amazing, bro. Yes, and I do understand about the water. Again, if you don't have clean water or filtered water, anything like that, just go ahead, boil some water in a kettle. And then just throw that hot water into a bowl, add your noodles. Of course, like I understand anything that's a workaround, just do that, okay? Because again, we're all about trying to hack recipes in any way, shape, or form that's easy for you, accessible for you guys. I'm just showing you the way that I do it just because, again, it's easier for me to do it in that way, okay? So then I now have the noodles warmed, ready to go. So that's on the go. On about 4.5, I have my stock started. So what you're going to do now is you're going to take this and just give it a quick drain. Drain as much of the water as humanly possible so your noodles aren't waterlocked. And the way to get them unwaterlocked is to literally just give them a quick toss. Okay? Right? Toss them. Boom. So then they sit in the bowl nice and easy. What I like to then do is I give them a quick stack. Just like that. All right? Right? And don't twirl them necessarily. You want to just lift them up so they become rounded, right? It's a nice big kind of a bed, all right? So now, with my stock on the go, I'm going to go ahead and take my char siu. Let's see, where's the seam on this? I wrapped this too good. Oh, okay, here it is. Okay, so you're going to unseam that, and again with the char siu I left a good amount of that fat cap because I really wanted to maintain a bunch of that profile and texture. And with this you're just going to cut it nice and thin, okay? And then so everyone knows, You can, again, you can rewatch any of the lives that I have on my YouTube channel. The link will be in my bio part of my page if you guys do follow my page. But essentially for the char siu, I just used pork loin to make it this time around because, again, it was really cheap, really accessible for the amount that you get. And I just slow braised it for about 7 hours or so in the oven at 200, okay? With a bit of the char siu marinade that I found at Superstore. Okay, so for the char siu, I'm just gonna just pack up just the rest because I'm not gonna use this right now. Boom. Yeah, just a simple, easy 7 hours. You know, just put it in. Don't even worry about it. Oh, yeah.
Where'd you get your knife, sir?
Okay, so I'll be real. You can go get these. These are shun knives. You can get them at any good knife place. I think like the original place that I knew about it was the Knifery downtown in Inglewood. Or you can also go to Williams-Sonoma. I don't recommend any of those places because like the amount that it costs you to get the knives is insane. But then again, I didn't pay for these knives. I actually was gifted both of my knives from my sister for my birthday. She bought them, how do I say, like maybe 15 years ago. And I've never honestly used any other knives. I've used these in competitions. I've used them in every kitchen that I've been in for the last, say, 18 years. Yeah. Like again, shun knives. This is a treated steel knife, so you can use. It's really easy to maintain like a sharpness on it. It'll maintain that sharp until you need to sharpen again. But they do have the soft steel versions of these knives. I just recommend if you're going to do soft steel, make sure that you're maintaining them. Oil them up after you sharpen them. Right, really go the distance. Make sure that they're sheathed every time they go back into your knife case or your drawer, anything like that. And then make sure, they're oiled out so they don't corrode. They are relatively expensive, but I will be real. There's a fine line between super expensive and super cheap. If you meet right in the middle, I think this one was about $160. They can keep going though. They can go all the way up to like $400 or $600, and I don't recommend them. Yeah, Chefworks. I thought it was a Knifery. My bad. But Chefworks in Inglewood. The only thing I use Chefworks in Inglewood for is sharpening. Is it Knifeware? Okay. Yeah, I thought it was a Knifery or Chefworks. I think is like a gear spot, like where you buy all your uniforms and stuff. Yeah. Either way, the place in Kensington or Inglewood is a really good spot if you want to go get some really simple gear and stuff like that. And they're really, really helpful. I mean, I'm not slating them in the least for being helpful, trying to sell you some really good gear. But for people that are on like a budget, all that stuff, remember any knives will work. You can still go get like the French brands. There's again, Henkel is like like an industry standard. That's what they use at Sate. You know what I'm saying? Honkers, welcome to the live, brother. Right now I'm on the kind of the home stretch of dinner. So in the back, I'm actually tonight making a Japanese style at-home ramen, which is like the hack version for people on a budget, right? So people that love ramen, sometimes it's just ramen just a little bit too expensive. You know what I mean? So what instead I did is a hack version of the ramen stock recipe, which is I'm using, again, powdered stocks. See, look at that. So I just left this in the liquid just for the last like 30 seconds. It's gorgeous. Breaks apart. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead, pull all of those pieces out of the stock, right? So I can go ahead and just line them up. Boom, just like that, right? Leave them on the side right here, just like that. That's going to come up to a nice simmer. Hopefully I didn't leave any other pieces. Yep, it's got all those things. I'm going to put some seaweed on the side. So for tonight, I'm making some really simple, really nice, easy ramen. Instead of using fresh ingredient, I used a little bit of chicken stock, some bonito stock, and some mushroom powdered stock as well. And then I hit it with some white miso, instant miso soup, and some strips of the roasted seaweed, just because the seaweed itself has an affirming amount of flavor. And then secondary to that, sorry, give me 1 second. Just gotta turn that down, turn the fan on for the oil. Boom. And then secondary to that, I also boiled off a little bit of eggs right at the top, and I let these things marinate, okay, which is awesome. So again, you leave them in the marinade. They're not going to take on a crazy amount of color, but look at that, right? I don't know if you can actually see that. They took on a great dark brown, kind of yellow color overall, right? Really, really nice. If you left it longer, it'll take so much more of that color and flavor in. But since I wanted to make sure that I controlled the amount of sodium going in, it was important for me to just kind of like let it sit for the last hour or so, okay? So now I'm just gonna go ahead and give this egg just a quick slice. And yes. So now,
Wants to know why you're using fish tongs.
I'm just used to it. Forced-up tongs are a thing in fine dining restaurants. So now the center, now that it's rested, is really still really gummy. It's not runny. All right. So this will actually help to not melt directly into the soup. In my opinion, these are slightly a little bit more cooked than I wanted it to be, but the gel on the inside is very soft and very supple. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead, throw those eggs into there, and to give it a little bit of garnishing greenery, I'm going to go ahead with just some pre-washed onions that I have, or green onions that I had from earlier.
Young Oil is asked about if you have a recipe book, and then your question, what you're making from Slade.
Okay. Oh, Slade, welcome. I appreciate you for being here. And Young Royal, I am currently working on both a cookbook and a Patreon for things that involve struggle meals and all of that stuff. Yeah, easy, accessible stuff like that. And and like a simple cookbook for like the normal like college kid or the single parent, anybody that's on a time restraint. Okay, because I'm all about trying to create an atmosphere of ability. Okay, and Slade, you just got here, so I'm working right now on some at-home, really quick ramen. Okay, in the back I got some ramen stock with a bit of roasted seaweed and some miso stock. Instant miso stock. In the thing earlier, I made up a little bit of boiled egg that I then marinated in garlic hoisin and soy sauce. Right. I had my last stream, or like 2 streams ago, I made a little bit of char siu pork. So I used a little bit of that, soaked it in the stock, sliced it really, really thin, boom, on the plate, a little bit of green onion, a little bit more seaweed. And for dessert, sir, I made this is a chocolate ganache with brownies, cornbread, and it's Lindt chocolate on the base, brownie, cornbread, chocolate ganache. That's what it is. And it's inside of a nice Springroll wrap, and I'm going to go ahead and fry those up for dessert.
Do we have any bean sprouts? Explicit was asking.
We don't have any bean sprouts, but technically, I guess traditionally with ramen, you wouldn't serve it with bean sprouts, but instead, I was thinking about serving it with a little bit of sliced cabbage. In this case, it is coleslaw mix, which is basically just chopped cabbage with a little bit of carrots. Yeah, because that's the thing. I don't serve bean sprouts necessarily with ramen, because I've opened a couple ramen restaurants myself, and oftentimes they don't serve it with. So again, that's what the plate looks like. Boom. Okay, and just a reminder for everyone out there, if you guys are new to my lives or new to my my page, just so you know, at the end of every one of my lives, I will be taking video and photos. Nice. Videos and photos of all my dishes and be posting those onto my page. So if you guys want a closer look at any of the food that I make in my lives, by all means, make sure to hit that follow button so you guys can stay up to date on any of the events coming up, any of the menus that I will be making in the future, and all that good stuff. And then follow up for any of the recipes that I do in the evening. You'll see them posted later that night. Ooh. Oh yeah, that's going to be crazy. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. And then also, as a quick initiative for anybody that's new or anybody that doesn't know, I always, at the end of every week, look at or at the end of every stream, look at who the top gifters are of my page. So whoever is the top gifter will always get a reach out from myself. Kusha, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate it, you guys. The spring rolls, I'm actually, in this case, I'm literally only going till it's like brown. So right about here, right? You want it to be crispy on the outside, but then like it pretty much has everything melted, okay? So you get this kind of color, right? Nice golden, okay? And then, so what was I saying? Yeah, so I always try to reach out to the top gifter of every stream, and then you guys will have an opportunity to let me know what you want to see on a Saturday stream, okay? Or a Tuesday stream, right? It depends on how fast you guys get at me, okay? Am I going to eat the ramen and spring rolls? Actually, I will have a snack after I do all my photos and all that stuff. The person who always eats first in my house is my wife and my daughter, right? Because we have a rule in kitchens. It's the chef eats last, and it's for good reason, right? I want to make sure that everyone in my house gets the best of the best. I try to be, you know. I haven't been a great man the whole time. It's something that you learn in a lifetime. Cool. So now I got my spring rolls. That's actually the better texture. This is a much, much better. Oh, damn. All right. So now, actually, I'm going to go ahead and pull that. So now this right here, that right there, that's a way better texture. Way better texture. And you can actually smell the chocolate like dissolving on it. Oh, damn. Yeah, see, now that's what you're looking for. Right? Look at that. Hell yeah. Right? And you can actually hear it too. Right? That's what I'm talking about. So I have these just resting right now. I'm going to throw in the last two. Right? And I got that's done. Okay? Now I'm just going to go ahead and scoop out just a little bit of that stock. Man, do I not have a ladle anymore? Golly. All right, well, just use a small cup, I guess. Okay. All right, so I can't find a ladle, so I'm just going to use a cup. Boom. Okay, so then easiest way to get your ramen going is that you pour it down the side, right? Just enough that it covers the noodles. Again, when it comes to doing ramen, what you want is there to just be enough coverage. You don't have to go crazy on it, okay? So then sits as is. And then one of the nice accents to your ramen, as always. Well, I'm just gonna give no, it's leaking. No, the ganache. I was gonna save that right now. Boom. And boom, you can really smell the chocolate melting on these egg rolls. Damn. Okay. And so a nice final addition to the ramen, as I always do it, is a couple hits of chili crisp. Okay? This will add that little bit of fiery chili and spice that you really want to get out of your ramen. Okay? Really, really simple. Yep. Has a lot of green onion flavor and scent. And not only that, it still has that bonito seaweed overall flavor and smell as well. Your snacks are coming. Gosh. Yeah, the egg is it's nice. It's sumptuous, right? It's not overcooked. The yellow's maintained in the yolk and all that stuff. Yes, I do stream Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays. And Christina, yeah, I try. You know what I'm saying? I always try to make sure that the people around me that support me, I make sure that I support them and take care of them first, right? That's always what's been important. Jessica. Hey, man, if you're in Calgary, yeah, you know where to find us. Come on over. Okay, so I got that going right there. So before my oil just like straight burns, we'll get that out of the way. Now I'm gonna do a real quick. I have like 10 more minutes on this live, so I'm gonna do a really cute plating. But I also want to do. Is there a small? No. All right. Okay, so on a bowl or a plate, I'll just do it on a bowl. Boom. It'll be a bowl. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna slice up 2 of these egg rolls. Oh yeah. Oh my God, yeah. Look at that. Isn't that nuts? Like it's like oozing, dude. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pile just maybe 3 pieces into here instead of 4. God damn, yeah. Ho ho. All right. Okay. So in the plate, just like that, right? I like having 1 on the side, 2 stacked up against each other. Nothing too serious. Heck yeah, you can. It smells brilliant. Thank you. Okay, and then just to finish it on top, add a little bit of just something that's not just brown. I'm going to just hit it with a little bit of that powdered sugar, right? Nice and clean over top of the bowl itself. Boom. I'm going to let this chill out for a second, just because I guarantee you if you bite into that now, it's just going to be fucking napalm. All right. And that's it, guys. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm going to do the cute plating. So you guys will see what a petite plating looks like, which I adore. I really, really love these. As well, I chose a bowl that my wife was able to find for me that I truly just am in love with. Okay. I'm going to fill this with my warm water. We'll get that out of the way right now. Okay, I'm going to go ahead, since my stock is nice and warm, I'm going to go ahead and throw that in there. Chocolate, yeah. Yeah, so again, I do work with a lot of stuff more untraditionally, if possible, because I really like the idea of doing things that are just kind of out of the ordinary, right? So you'll always see me doing pastries that are desserty, but aren't done that often, or I'll try to do appetizers in the next couple weeks instead of desserts, just to kind of give me a little bit of diversity. Okay. Cool. So I got my ramen cup, right, with my ramen noodles lightly stacked on the inside. Okay. I'm gonna do my egg, but in this case, I'm only gonna do 1/2, just because I really want it. Yeah, dude. Oof. Again, for anybody who remembers, like nice and gummy. God damn. Right. A little bit of that. Okay. I'm gonna pull out a little bit of that chassis. Get that on the side. You want a crab? You want to come grab your soup? Okay. A little bit of that right there. So I'm just going to give that a quick wipe down so I can do my green onions. Ramenception. Okay, so then I'm going to do a little bit of the pre-washed green onion. Okay. Again, this is more like a half or a petite portion, which I find really, really nice. So if you have like a homeboy or a friend at your place, just like, oh, I'm looking for just a snack, nothing too crazy, you can give them something like this, of this size, which to me is amazing. So just going to give a quick, 1 or 2 pieces of the seed meat. Drop that on the floor like an idiot. Okay. Right, just like that. Boom. And a little bit of stock on the inside. Here we are. And mini ramen. Cool. Okay, so that is pretty much. Hey, Sage and Scarlett, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And hopefully you'll be able to catch us on our next live, which will be Saturday. Young Royal, hey, all the best, brother. I'll catch you again, man. Thank you so much. And that pretty much makes up today's live. I appreciate you all for being here. And again, guys, if you guys have any more questions, yo, try the dessert, Christina. Absolutely. If you guys have any more questions, any comments, or you want to see a recipe come up in the future, stuff like that, go ahead and leave me a comment in the DMs. I'm trying to get back to everybody that's been hitting me up for recipes and advice as fast and as efficiently as humanly possible, but you do have to give me a little bit of time. A lot of people are trying to get at me these days. So with that being said, be sure to hit the likes, be sure to follow. I appreciate all of you guys for being here. And yeah, so remember, I'm on every Tuesday, Thursday at about 5 p.m. Mountain Time, and on Saturdays I'm on from 4 till 6 or 7 o'clock, depending on what time I can get to it. And yeah, dude. Yeah, right on, dudes. So, oh, and I did reach my goal. Hey, thank you guys for helping me out get to the goals as well. Karma Kitty, thanks so much for the follow. Absolutely. Yes, I think it should be pretty good, and I think my daughter will really love it. So, again, guys, thank you so much. You guys have a good rest of your evening, and to quote Mr. Feeney from Boy Meets World, I love you all. Class is dismissed. Thank you, guys.